Hey there, Ruthhaven Grounds family. You know what really gets me fired up? Spending hard-earned money on bags of fertilizer every spring when there's a better way sitting right under our noses. I'm talking about a winter soil trick that's been around for generations, yet somehow the big fertilizer companies would rather you forget it exists. Today, I'm pulling back the curtain on a method that's going to save you serious cash while actually improving your soil health in ways synthetic fertilizers never could. Let me cut straight to the chase. Winter cover cropping combined with cold composting is the game changer you've been missing. I know, it sounds almost too simple, right? But hear me out, because this technique has transformed my garden at Ruthhaven Grounds, and I've watched my fertilizer bills drop from around $250 per season to practically nothing. Here's the thing that nobody talks about. Your soil doesn't go dormant in winter, it's actually working. The microbial life slows down, sure, but it doesn't stop. And when you harness this natural winter process, you're essentially getting nature to do the heavy lifting while you're inside drinking hot cocoa. Before we dive into the how-to, let's talk about why winter is actually your secret weapon for soil building. During the cold months, organic matter breaks down more slowly and thoroughly than it does in summer. This slower decomposition means nutrients don't leach away as quickly, and the structure of your soil actually improves as freeze-thaw cycles naturally aerate the ground. I learned this the hard way after years of leaving my beds bare through winter. Not only was I missing out on soil improvement, but I was actually letting valuable topsoil wash away with every rain and snowmelt. That exposed soil was also losing organic matter to wind erosion. It was like throwing money down the drain and I didn't even realize it. Here's where things get exciting. Planting winter cover crops like crimson clover, winter rye, or hairy vetch about 6 to 8 weeks before your first hard freeze does something magical. These plants grow roots that break up compacted soil better than any tiller ever could, and when spring arrives, you simply cut them down and let them decompose right where they grew. Now, I want you to think about what you'd normally spend on fertilizer. For my 1,000 square foot garden, I used to drop about $200 to $250 on various fertilizers throughout the growing season. A packet of winter rye seeds costs me maybe $15 and covers that same space. That's already a massive saving, but it gets better. When those cover crops decompose in spring, they release nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium naturally. Winter rye alone can add the equivalent of 50 to 100 pounds of nitrogen per acre when you factor in what the roots contribute. That's serious fertility we're talking about, and it's coming from plants that you grew for pennies on the dollar. Here's where I want to share my personal winter soil building system that I've refined over 5 years at Ruthhaven Grounds. After you've got your cover crops planted, you're going to start layering organic materials directly on your garden beds throughout winter. This is different from traditional hot composting because you're not building a pile that needs turning, you're building soil right where you'll be planting. Start with a layer of fallen leaves. I collect bags and bags of them from neighbors who are literally giving away garden gold. Spread them about 4 to 6 inches deep over your beds, right over those cover crops if you've planted them. Then throughout winter, add kitchen scraps, coffee grounds, and any other organic matter you'd normally compost. Cover each addition with more leaves or straw. What happens next is pure magic. As winter progresses, this layered material slowly breaks down. The freeze-thaw cycles help break down tough materials, and the slow microbial action preserves nutrients that would burn off in a hot compost pile. By spring, you'll have several inches of rich, dark, crumbly organic matter that's partially decomposed and ready to be worked into your soil. Let me get a little nerdy for a minute because understanding why this works will help you optimize it for your garden. Commercial fertilizers are water-soluble, meaning they wash away easily and need constant reapplication. That's actually by design, though the companies won't advertise it that way. You need to keep buying more because the nutrients don't stick around. The organic matter you're building through winter cover cropping and cold composting creates something completely different. It forms humus, which is like the holy grail of soil health. Humus holds nutrients and releases them slowly as your plants need them. It's like having a savings account of fertility in your soil instead of spending all your money upfront on fertilizer that washes away with the first heavy rain. The math is compelling when you really break it down. Those cover crops I mentioned, they're also preventing erosion that would cost you topsoil. Every inch of topsoil lost is equivalent to losing decades of natural soil building. By protecting and building your soil through winter, you're creating an asset that appreciates in value year after year. Let me walk you through exactly how I time this at Ruthhaven Grounds, because timing is everything with this technique. In late summer, usually around mid-August in my zone, I start clearing out my spent summer crops. As each bed opens up, I immediately seed it with my chosen cover crop. I'm partial to a mix of winter rye and crimson clover because they complement each other beautifully. By mid-October, those cover crops are established and growing strong. This is when I start adding my leaf layer. Throughout November, December, and January, I continue adding kitchen scraps and covering them. In late February or early March, depending on your climate, you'll cut down those cover crops at soil level. Leave the roots in place because they're going to decompose and leave channels for air and water. Now here's the beautiful part. You don't need to till. Just pull back the partially composted material, plant into the rich soil beneath, and use that organic matter as mulch around your plants. The roots from your cover crops have already tilled the soil naturally, and all those nutrients are sitting right there waiting for your vegetables. I'd be doing you a disservice if I only talked about the money you'll save, because honestly, the benefits go way beyond your wallet. The soil structure you build with this method improves water retention, meaning you'll water less during summer. It increases beneficial microbial life, which helps suppress plant diseases. Your plants grow stronger and more resistant to pests because they're getting balanced nutrition rather than the synthetic jolt from chemical fertilizers. I've noticed my tomatoes have fewer blossom and rot issues, my leafy greens are more vibrant, and my root vegetables grow straighter and more uniformly. These are the kinds of results that come from truly healthy soil, and no bag of fertilizer has ever given me these benefits. Listen, I get it. Change can feel overwhelming, especially when you're used to doing things a certain way, but I promise you, once you see the results of winter soil building, you'll never go back. Start small if you need to. Try this method on just 1 or 2 beds this winter. Take notes, observe the difference, and expand from there. The gardening season might seem far away right now, but winter is actually your most important season for soil health. Those fertilizer companies banking on your spring purchases, they're counting on you not knowing this information, but now you do, and you're part of a community here at Ruthhaven Grounds that shares real knowledge for real results. If this article opened your eyes to a better way of gardening, do me a favor, subscribe to our channel, and share this with a fellow gardener who could use an extra $200 in their pocket next year. Together we're building more than just better soil. We're building a community of informed gardeners who know that the best solutions are often the most natural ones. Now get out there and start building that winter soil wealth. Your spring garden is going to thank you.